Welcome along to EXFL Tier 2 Season 8. We are here for round 4 at Baku with my co-commentator, F1 Union Jaden. How you doing?
Still feels weird when you do it, but I'm good, thanks, mate. How are you?
I am rather impeccable for this day of racing action. A little bit hectic to the start, but I'll hand the reins over to you now.
Yeah, 2 minutes into qualifying, and Frosty's left, so the carries on.
Oh,
Let's get him back in.
Dominic.
But yes, we're here, round 4, the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Out of 23, it's still very, very early stages of the season, as we are riding a more vortex going through probably the most difficult and feared part of the whole calendar, I'd say, through the castle section. I'm going to hand it back to you, Nick, because there's still some things I need to sort.
Alrighty then. Frosty Live disqualified from session. Not a great start for the Dutch
No.
man. Right.
And AFC Callum's out.
AFC Callum, not a surprise there. It is Baku. There is a lot of opportunities to put one's front wing or wheel into a wall. As we look at AFC Callum, he seems to have done that going on to the main straight. Right, let's hop on with, not Callum, Vortex SG. Right, as we head down towards turn 1. Braking before the 100-meter ball because it's very easy to lock the rears if they do not use ABS and go sliding off into that outside wall. Nicely done from Vortex there. Braking way before the 100 or the 50-meter ball, to be honest, because it's very slippery on entry there. Make sure you don't hit the inside apex curb. We barrel our ways down to turn 3. Oh, and it's a little bit deep there. A little bit deep. Losing a little bit of time there. And then through the 90-degree corners. So we've had turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, and turn 4. But now we head into the quick chicane of turn 5 and 6. Very tricky. We can hop that inside curb and put ourselves in the wall. But he does that beautifully. As we head down towards turn 7. Don't do a Nico Hulkenberg here, but you can't do that on this game now, as the curb is slightly risen. Rose. Oh, and Vortex puts it in the wall. Oh, that is lap over. I am stupid. I can hear it. As Callum goes at the top of the table, 42-0. With Josh Hewitt at 42-6 on the mediums. Good time from Josh there. Just slightly behind him on those slower compound of tyres. F1 Union.
Yep. So we saw last week Cal get his first win at the Australian Grand Prix, moves him up to second in the World Championship, and for the first time leading the World Championship is Eggy935 has finished third and second, yet to get a win, but that consistency has landed him in P1 in the standings. And then yeah, Josh Hewitt in third, only 10 points behind him. Seems like those three are getting out clear at the moment. Logan, he was unsure if he was going to race today, needs a decent result, but if you can finish at Baku, I'm sure you'll get that. As I think everything else is fine.
That's something we don't know about, do we? Already.
Right, so Cal, 1/10 ahead of Cargo's Blanc, half a second ahead of Josh, 6/10 ahead of Callum. BMO Optic is back in the car with Aston Martin. He left for a couple races, then returned. So let's see how he can fare around Baku. Warren, Buridogo, Jazzmeister, Sin Icon, he's finally renewed his Xbox Live. Right, yeah, I'll just check the chats for one last time. As I think some of the grid is just on their outlap at the moment. Apparently Bluey got in AFC Callum's way, hence why he crashed. Frosty Life, I'm not too sure. Beer Optic second off the pace. Seb 6.3 down. Yeah, as soon as you do that, Nick and Will, then I can send the stream a bit. So we'll find someone else who's going on a lap, and you can take us through that too. Chazmeister, they're just finishing sector 1, but they're slowing down. With 11 minutes, still a long way left. What was that, 7 Inters? Yeah, that's why. Eggy's just leaving the pits now. Okay, Nick, so like I asked you about, I think it was Australia, you said patience. What's a key virtue to have around Baku? Like, what kind of skills do you need to possess to, with one of the hardest tracks on the calendar? What kind of skills do you need?
Skill overall is a good one. I think patience, works at most tracks, but this track as well, you know, Australia is fast paced. You have to wait for the car to respond to you, not you respond to the car. That's the one. Same with here, to be honest. We can't be throwing the car into the corners. We just need to slow it down. Aim for the corners in front. You know, always looking ahead. Set the corners up in front. And I'm just trying to think of something that's not patience, to be honest. Knowledge of the track. You know, you need to know what curves throw you about, what curves don't throw you about, what curves can you use, what curves can you brake on, so and so. So overall knowledge of the track will get you a long way in this race tonight.
Indeed, Eggy has done a fair outlap while you've been explaining that, and now he's about to begin that lap. So let's take us through it with you then.
Eggy, my man, activating the DRS there. As we're down to 85% ERS, burning, down to 218 miles per hour. Absolutely rapid as we head into turn 1, using the inside apex beautifully as we head down to the second 90-degree turn of turn 2. Ooh, missing the apex a little bit, maybe catching the rear right tyre as well on the barrier, but he seems to have gotten away scot-free as we have the second DRS straight down towards turn 3 and the third of the 90-degree corners. Using all the track there. That was absolutely beautiful. Could have got closer to the inside apex, but he did that pretty well. Same with turn 4, the last of our 90-degree corners so far. And then 5 and 6 chicane, as I said earlier. Very easy to mess it up and put it into the wall, or just lose plenty of time. But he seems to have done that nice and smoothly. Now into turn 7, the Nico Hulkenberg corner, using a lot of the track on the left-hand side. Opening up the corner. Not seeing that currently from any other drivers, so good to see Eggy utilising the whole circuit through the castle section. And then I believe we are heading up to turn 11 and 12. Something like that. Let's have a look. We're up to turn 15 now. Using all the track, coming right from the left as we have a bollard in the middle of the circuit. Sure, that wasn't too distracting. Braking just after the 100-meter board for the final proper corner, as we must say. Turn 16. And then we have 17. 18. 19, and then it's full burners ahead. Maybe picking up a little bit of a slipstream here. Yeah, he is picking up a little bit of a slipstream from Warren, that is, on the medium tyres. But we have the DRS barreling towards the finish line, and that is a P3 with a 42.5. The lap looked a lot better than that, so I think Eggy is hoping for a little bit more.
Indeed, Sin Icon has joined, didn't even realise he left, because I was just trying to sort stuff. Anyway, Cal still leads them, 42.0, a tenth ahead of Cargo's Bloggers Eggy, yeah, half a second off the pace. Bluey Doggo has now left. Connections are awful. Right, that's 9 tons on the board. Warren is out, AFC Callum's out, and Frosty Life is disqualified. So still wait for Logan, who's just finished the castle section. 35.9 for the first sector, as he navigates his way through the probably like 5 left-hand corners. As a Blue Dog goes back in. Tricky braking zone here. Pretty much a 90-degree turn. So Williams will get out the way in front. pretty much another 90-degree turn as Seb by 7/10 now takes provisional pole with 6.5 minutes to go. Logan riding the curb bit there. Now it's just foot flat to the floor. Left, right, one more right, and then it's just the shortest run to the line. We can still see that tyre of Callum's car. As the DRS will flick open now. And on the run up to the line for the McLaren. 41.3 is the time to be. He comes across the line. It's going to be a 41.6 and goes 3/10 behind, but 3/10 ahead of his teammate. As Josh Hewitt splits the McLaren, so it is AlphaTauri McLaren, then the two Alfa Romeos. It's the three teams we thought would be fighting, and it's the 6 drivers we thought would be up there. Vortex best of the rest at the moment. Callum, who got his first pole last Thursday, currently in 8th. And we still wait for the two Mercs to set their lap times. Right, and I think that's everything sorted. So with just under 5 minutes of qualifying remaining, Seb is on provisional pole by just under 3/10 ahead of Logan. As Cargos Blanc goes P4 and BMO Optic goes P5. So that drops Callum, who was originally on provisional pole, down to 6th. Josh Hewitt's just slowly heading back into the pits. He's ran out of fuel, I think. So yeah, 15 drivers around Baku. It's not too much, it's not too little. In fact, it's probably the perfect amount of drivers because it's tier 2 and it's Baku. We know this is going to be chaotic, so less drivers crashing is something. But still, good turnout. Anyway, Cargos Blanc. He's been recently getting some decent quali performances. So P4 at the moment is solid. Sin Icon sorting his Wi-Fi out, is now on track, so he's going to have one lap. One attempt to see where he can put that Mercedes. At the moment, Seb, he's never had a pole position. This race is his 95th Tier 2 race. This is the race that makes him break the record for most races entered. This is the race that will make him the most experienced EXFL Tier 2 driver in history. He got his first win here in Baku 1 year ago. 1.5 years ago. And 1.5 years later, maybe he can get his first pole. Logan, I think the same. I don't think he's ever had a pole either. Let me just check the records as he heads out now. There's a fly flowing, like trying to hit my screen. So Frosty has 10, Josh Hewitt has 6, Crabtree has 5, Jason has 4, Cal has 1, and Callum JH has 1. So yeah, your front row at the moment is neither have scored a pole position. Callum retires, that's 9th at best for him. What about Sin Icon then, as he heads into turn 2? Pretty much 3 90-degree corners come at you for the first bit of the lap. And there's barely any time, even on the straights, to breathe because you're just thinking about the entrance and the exit. Sin Icon locks it in left, takes it nicely, not too much. And again, not too little. The first right-hander of the track, as he's got Williams in front of him. That will hopefully get out of the way. So first sector split then, 36-6. I think that's 6/10 off what Logan was doing. So he's heading towards the castle section now. That's a bit deep for the Mercedes. Looks like he's not enjoying himself out there. Through the castle section then, taking it nice and easy. Through the chicane, make sure not to invalidate on the exit, all good. As the rest are getting ready for their final run on their outlaps. Cargo's belongs to in the pits, same with Bluey Doggo, that will probably be it for them then. Over the curb a little bit there for Sin Icon. Now to finish the second sector split. So 1 minute 18.4, and now he's just got to go pedal to the metal and come across the line as soon as possible. Championship leader Eggy currently sitting in 7th, 3/10 up in his first sector. This is where qualifying is going to get spicy, as now Sin Icon with the DRS opening in a few moments will come across the line. A 41.3 is the time to beat. And it's going to be a 42.7, which only puts him P10 for the race as he goes off there. Right, Seb starting his lap. Logan 3/10 up in the first sector. Josh Hewitt right behind him. Cargo's long in the pit. Optic about to start his lap. He'll be one of the last. Same with Vortex over the line. Cow, he's about to finish his lap. 6/10 up when he's 7/10 down on Delta. So here comes Cow. He's had one pole in EXFL Tier 2 before. He comes across the line. He's on the front row, but it's not pole. But he's ahead of his teammate, and it's a valiant effort from Cow, who's second in the World Championship and second for the race. Now we see what Eggy can do. He's a whole second up with 1.1 seconds to find. It's a 41.3, the time to beat. It's a 41.5 for Eggy, who goes ahead of Cow, and now he's on the front row. What about Logan and Josh then? Josh, a 10th up. Seems like a bit squirrely out of the final corner. You really have to worry about Logan then. Just has the straight to go. And we'll see Chasmeister heading through the castle here now. Seems like Vortex done with 8th. So Logan across the line. Can he get a first pole position in EXFL Tier 2? He crosses the line by half a second. And can Josh deny him? No, he can't. Logan by half a second may have just taken his first ever pole position. But what about Seb? He's only a 10th up. Is it Logan or is it Seb? It is Logovic09 for the first time in EXFL Tier 2 on pole position by a whopping 4/10. He brought that home by a country mile ahead of both Alpha Tauris, then Eggy, then Cal, then Cargo's Blong, all within a second, then Optic, Vortex, Callum H and Sin Icon to round out the top 10. Chasmeister 7/10 down will be 11th, Bluey Doggo 13th. In Logan's 52nd race, he is on pole position for the first time. Did you see that one coming, Nick?
I didn't, to be honest. I think, Logan obviously wasn't quite sure he was going to be racing. And obviously to put it on the top step, or the, how do I word this? The first grid box, let's just say that, is rather surprising. Maybe others didn't get the perfect lap in. Obviously it's Baku, it's easy to make mistakes. But 4/10 clear of Seb there is a rather great result for your first pole position.
It is indeed. Logan, who got denied the pole position in the season opener by his teammate, has just gone back to round 4 with questions looming over how the season's going to go for him after an unfortunate first 3 races. He's back on pole position now for the first time, and we'll see what happens in the 26 laps to come in the race. So Logan saying yeehaw. Callum in the Haas, I think, is on wheel now. And Sin Icon, yeah, that one lap. Didn't do him a lot of justice. Anyway, little overcast for the race, but I haven't heard anyone say anything about rain, so we should be fine. Strategies, soft medium is possible around here, isn't it, Nick?
If your sources are correct, I shall be able to have a look for us before the race starts, hopefully.
Ooh, or not. Medium hard. I can only see Frosty on softs at the moment.
Yeah, I think the tyre is quite large. Like, obviously, a lot of corners, but it's quite a low downforce track, in all honesty. I think I'm running close to 15 wings on both front and rear. Let's see if I can find something quickly. Azerbaijan. Soft hard seems like the only strategy with the soft
Here we go.
tyres. Right.
The 5 lights, come on. For the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, we're here in Baku as the revs rise. And it's lights out, and away we go. Shortest run down into turn 1, but it doesn't matter for Seb, who takes the lead immediately into turn 1 ahead of Logan. Josh pressurising him to make it an AlphaTauri 1-2 with Cal and Eggy wheel to wheel as we head into turn 2 for the first time. It is Seb leading out ahead of Logan, Josh, and Cal getting it all wrong, losing out to Eggy and his teammate. Bimmer Optic watching this unfold. Callum ahead of Vortex, and the AFC Callum into the top 10. The two Mercedes battling. Sin Icon has had a dreadful start. Same with Chazmeister. Frosty still at the back. Into turn 3 then we go. They've still all made it through. No contact until Callum's in the wall. Losing a bit of his end plate and spinning around. Gets caught. The Haas. And that's going to be his race. Well and truly ruined at the start. And now Eggy down the inside. Round the outside. To the inside. But still behind Josh Hewitt. Into P4. We've still got yellows at the back due to the Haas, but it's a feisty start from the Alfa Romeos, and what a start it was from Seb, who leads them for the first time in the castle section. Here we go then. Can they all make it through the first time round? So far, so good. Oh, just about avoiding the wall there is Warren, who, remember last week, Nick, got plenty of drive-throughs.
Yes.
Apparently it wasn't his fault. I have no idea. But at the moment then, yes, Seb leads them away by already over a second. Biggest gainer at the moment, AFC Callum. He's known for his starts lately. And once again, this is another brilliant one. But then again, he skims the wall, and so does Warren.
Seb pulling it away by over a second already, but going off at the final corner. Just wanted to check if he got a warning. No, he didn't, but a wonderful start from Seb there. Already pulling out of that 1 second DRS zone. And that's
AFC Callum is ow, and that's a safety car.
After the highs
so
of last week.
He's just crashed at the same place he did in quali.
Yeah. The summit, should I say, of last week and the plummets of this week.
So Eggy started on soft, same with Bluey, same with Frosty. Warren, Sin Icon started on hards, hence why he may have not got the greatest start. Everyone else on mediums. Alright, so it seems like that's the corner that Callum's struggling with, and yeah, his race has not even lasted a lap. Neither did his qualifying, and this is going to be one to forget for the Ferrari driver. Ferrari down in last in the constructors, and their season gets worse. We go in Miami next time out, so maybe for his sake he can do better, and for Haas, the home ground. But Callum at the moment at least gets brought back into the action with a new nose and new tyres. And that's going to annoy Seb a little bit, because he was holding the gap alright. But what a lovely start, seeing second and third, fourth and fifth wheel to wheel. Oh, it's happened again. Chazmeister.
What city, man?
Eggy asking, please, at the start, everyone be nice. Luigi, who unfortunately can't race today, as someone who's watching. Yeah, no. As Callum unfortunately has to leave. Right then. Well, we all knew a safety car was going to happen pretty soon. But up until the end of the first lap, that was really enjoyable, seeing the top guys. It's interesting. It's like 2018 or something. You see 3 teams, 6 drivers in the top 6. It's great. Obviously, 2 of those teams were fighting last season, McLaren and Alfa Romeo. AlphaTauri, well, they were pretty much nowhere last season. But with having 2 of the most experienced drivers, and now the most experienced driver in EXFL Tier 2 history, he knows a thing or two, and it's Seb who got himself into the lead of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix in Tier 2 Season 8. He becomes number 95, the most experienced Tier 2 driver we've ever had, and will surely be the first to 100 to become the first Centurion in this tier. But at the moment, he's had one win, and it came here 1.5 years ago. The safety car now picks him up. And yeah, Seb was leading a lot of Australia. There was chances he could have won that. He ended up getting a few penalties and into a few collisions. Ended up finishing 4th or 5th or 6th. That's where Callum shined. He took Nick's advice, stayed patient, stayed out of trouble, made his way up with new tyres, ended up winning his first race. Eggy, he's had third and 2nd. He's yet to finish off the podium this season. I'm sure he'll be wanting that first place. Still on the soft, so still going to try and push up. Josh Hewitt, who won the opening round, who got disqualified in the 2nd round, who finished 4th in the 3rd round. Yeah, it's not been too bad of a start for him. I mean, we can have 5 safety cars, that's the maximum, so there's 1 out the way. But I have a feeling that, you know, Australia, Nick, we weren't expecting that to be as chaotic as it was.
Yes.
I have a feeling that's going to be more chaotic than this.
Yeah.
The drivers just feel really well behaved around this track. A few of them are getting it wrong, but that's understandable. But the battling's great. Safety car in this lap then. Here we go. So Seb will lead them away. He'll wait until the safety car's rolled into the pits. Oh, great. Let's get Callum back. He's currently down in 13th. He's only a bit of a hinder to Chasmeister, who's lost his whole front wing. So those two aren't going to even catch the safety car. Let alone whoever's in the car won't catch. Anyway, Chasmeister, do not know what's happened to him, but his race is already in ruins as Seb gets going across the line. Then Josh Hewitt already trying to challenge the McLaren of Logan into turn 1 then. Seems like they'll go single file. No audacious sends from anyone yet, but apart from Vortex, who sends it on Optic. A little bit of contact, but so far so good. They all emerge unscathed into turn 2 then. Little wheel-to-wheel action. Frosty Life versus Bluey Doggo. Bluey Doggo into turn 2. Leaves him enough space, and Frosty gets up in a 10th. Looking further forward. Any sort of moves happening? Not at the moment. Seb into turn 3 then. It's so nerve-wracking on a restart heading into these 90-degree corners. So easy to lose it, and in the background it seems like Cargos Blanc has lost it, and he's putting Cal nearly into the wall as he's trying to defend from 5th, but he's holding up a massive gaggle of cars behind him, and that allows the top 4 to get ahead. Down the inside goes Vortex, and at the moment Optic just staying ahead, but Vortex will get a little bit of a switch back. Can he try enough to get down the inside of the Aston? Seems like he's going to try it, but at the moment he has to back off, so Cargos Blanc struggling into the castle section for the first time from the restart. All behaved so far. Wow, Warren just skimming the wall there. As going down is Cargos Blanc. There's been an incident, or he's lost it, as Cal goes down too. Could have been an incident between these two, but Cargos Blanc out of the points now. As Vortex and oh my god. So Optic and Vortex, as that's another safety car. So it seems like Vortex is getting a little elbows out there, but he completely whacked, it seems, Optic right into the wall. Must have misjudged his braking, or this must have been some lag like that. Cal back up in a 5th then. And for one who complained about last week, he certainly caused a safety car this time, as Cal, I think, gets an illegal overtake. So, who's deciding to pit? Seems like all the leaders are set. Oh, they all dummy each other!
Eggy
Eggy comes into the pits then.
A solid
Indeed.
decision, to be fair.
Right, this allows Callum back into his car. Wait, no, Callum's not even back into his car. As this allows Chasmeister to get back in the running, but he still hasn't served that drive-through. 6 seconds for Vortex. So Warren becomes the first person who has stopped. He's on the softs, however. Then Eggy on mediums. So both Alfa Romeos pitting, dropping down. It's interesting to see what will happen. Callum in between them, annoyingly, but unless he can get back in his car, then yeah, that's going to be a bit of an issue. Right, second safety car, and it was because of Optic going right into the wall, losing his whole front wing because Vortex hit him. And there was some commotion before that between Cal and James. Seems like there may have been some lag then. Yep, Josh Hewitt being proud of that fake. That was great. All three of them went into the pits, and all three of them just turned away last second. That could have been that could have had all sorts of implications. Right then, you joined us on lap 6 out of 26. You're on the second safety car. The first one was caused at the end of the first lap. AFC Callum losing it on the straight. And the second safety car caused because I think there must have been some lag then between Optic and Vortex. So that caused him to lose his whole front wing. And that impact brought out the second safety car. I think Cargo Swung is still trying to get ahead of the AI of Callum. So Seb will have to orchestrate another restart in the AlphaTauri. Pointless in the first 2 races, got his first points of the season last time. We've had 3 different winners in the first 3 races. See how long that can carry on. Those 3 winners are Cal, Josh, and Marine. Oh yeah. So Marine has been promoted now to Tier 1. Hence why Optic's now in the Aston Martin. So he'll be racing on Fridays. It was great to have him while it lasted. He broke records, got some wins, got great points. And yeah, very nice character. So now we head into the final couple corners, and surely the safety car will be in this lap. Nick, I know it's early, but who do you think is in the best position at the moment?
Well, I think, to be honest, look, I know I love him, but Eggy, we know he is, first of all, patient. He's come from back to front many of time, and he is on those brand new medium tyres. Obviously, they won't go to the end, but I'm sure there'll be plenty more safety cars, so it's very hard to tell. But obviously, we cannot ignore the fact that Seb has shown the pace so far that I think he's probably in the best position at the moment. The top 5, as long as they can keep the fast drivers behind and those new tyres behind, they should be alright.
Right, Logan stalking Seb, waiting for when he goes, and now he goes. This is Josh a little bit further behind this time, but Logan eye on the ball, and hopefully stays behind Seb into turn 1 because he's not close enough for any sort of send. Vortex right on the back of Josh. At the moment, top 4, all good. So into turn 1, then wheel to wheel, Eggy and Bluey. Eggy gets ahead as going off there, Chasmeister causing another yellow. And then into turn 2, the Haas dropping down the order. Eggy on the back of Warren, who's getting it all wrong. So here comes the leaders then into turn 3 on the second restart. Wheel to wheel, Sin Icon versus Cow. Cow lets Sin Icon go as he tries a little move around the outside, but it won't work. Into turn 4 then, all good so far. The 2 Alfa Romeos making their way up, little bit of contact. Car goes long as Josh Hewitt makes a move on Logan. Logan to the inside and stays ahead in second. Vortex watching this unfold, and Seb watching that in his mirrors as he flies away. 1.6 second advantage for the AlphaTauri. He loves it here at Baku. And at the moment, Logan just trying to hold down the guy who got a pole, his first pole, by a whopping 4/10. At the moment, just doesn't seem to have the race pace when it matters at the moment with the restart, because at the moment, the AlphaTauri seem to have fired their tyres up properly. So Frosty on the softs, the first runner on the softs, will be interesting to see how he copes. So yeah, Chasmeister, bad day gets worse. Yeah, look at that lead Seb has at the moment. Logan's going to come under massive pressure from Josh, 81 to 97%. Vortex under pressure from Sin Icon, who's still on those hards and can go a long way into the race. Cow on the back, Cargo's Blong getting ahead of Warren. Now a little bit of contact as he's trying to get ahead. They're going to go wheel to wheel here. Not what you want, and it's... yeah, that's why you don't want that. Massive crash between Cargo's Blong, taking out Blue as well. Third safety car.
Majorly, Seb has gone past the pit lane. This allowed Logan to go in. Josh has stayed out, but Logan is able to get the car into the pit lane. But additionally, it's only a safety car. If it was a VSC, Logan would be loving it right now. But in all honesty, he's just putting an extra lap on these tyres, to be honest. But, actually, no, the drivers have skipped the safety car. So, yeah, for Logan, that's just an extra lap on those tyres. More percent, more wear, and less chance of a win. Be honest.
Well, I think we know what we can label that Alpine with a certain name. But anyway, Chasmeister, once again, back in the race.
An absolute twonk.
Staying wheel to wheel through that section on the outside, and then it's a narrow inside. Like, you need to learn when to back off. Right, Chasmeister putting the softs on then. Warren pitting for hard, same with Cow. Frosty pitting for mediums. Vortex pitting for hard, same with Logan. So yeah, like you said, Nick, when the safety car was deployed, I'm guessing Seb had just passed the pit lane and Logan could have come in. So that is an interesting strat, because this is around the time where, whoa, as Vortex just about, I think, misses the wall there. This is around the time where if you pit for hards, they may get to the end. So Callum still ghosted. He's having Wi-Fi problems. Optic has pitted onto the hards 3 laps ago. Same with Eggy on the mediums. Chaswise, oh, yep, another one. Don't know how that's happened. Right, so the 2 AlphaTauris have stayed out. Now, as much as Logan pitting may have hampered them, they haven't caught the safety car, so they haven't really lost anything. But what do they do? Does Josh try and back off? Do they try and double stack? Seb stays out.
Well, Seb stays out. They both stay out. Honestly.
Interesting.
I don't see the logic. 8 laps on those tyres, and to be honest, I'm going to put a bet on it's probably about 4% a lap. This track eats away the rear tyres for breakfast, lunch and dinner, pretty much. Supper if you have it too. And yeah, honestly, I'm going to say about 4 or 5% a lap on these mediums. So for 8 laps, you know, upwards of 35% nearly.
Ooh. So Frosty, Logan back it. Logan damaged his wing. Under safety car.
Oh, interesting.
So he's put the mediums on now instead of the hards. Very interesting. Frosty Life has put the hards on instead of the mediums. So they've swapped around. So Logan down in 10th behind the Hazard. And then his teammate. And then the Hazard's teammate. So Callum's still waiting to get back into his cars. The sun's coming out now around Azerbaijan. Yeah, it is very interesting. So this is our third safety car. First one was caused by FC Callum into the wall. Second one was caused by Optic losing his whole front wing, because I think there was a bit of lag, unfortunately, with the braking of Vortex and him. So it may have not been anyone's fault. The impact caused it. The third one, because Cargo's bomb was going wheel to wheel with Warren. Warren didn't back out. He got spun due to it, but the contact made Cargo's bomb go into that death wall. And unfortunately, so unfortunately, it collected Bluey as well, and it was a massive crash. But you could see it coming from a mile away. Right then, top three, still yet to pit. Sin Icon going long on those hards. The pit lane, it's not massive, but it can still lose you a lot of time. So yeah, they are gambling here, staying out, and Logan gambling on the mediums to go potentially to the end, if he can really make that work. He's on the newest tyres, and seems like the newest tyres is always the best thing to have on this game. And common sense wise, Frosty and Chazmeister still yet to catch the pack. I don't think there's been a safety car restart yet where Chazmeister's been with them. Frosty's lost his front wing. Under safety car. What on earth? So he'll have to pit for a nose change. Hopefully he won't lose it here. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. See if he can catch that. Right, Frosty in then, braking, and it'll be interesting to see what he puts on, because I believe all he can do is the mediums that he had on before this, one lap before. Yeah, he does put the mediums on. I think, yeah, the nose change. I'll let him go now. Right, Chazmeister about to catch the pack then. Yeah, it is very easy to clip a wall, get damage, whether how inefficient or efficient it is, lime green, red. Sometimes you have to live with it, and sometimes that can end up with you in a wall or getting more damage. Especially if you ran simulation around here, if you brushed a wall and got however many % for that. Right then, AlphaTauri 1-2, they were in great formation for a lot of Australia, capitalising on a lot of things that could have hindered them, such as double stacking, and they made the most of it, even with old tyres. Even if the strategy wasn't the greatest choice, they still had great teamwork. Seb is going to lead the third and maybe final restart, hopefully. We still have 12 remaining. Alright, so Frosty may catch the pack, and then as soon as he catches the pack, the safety car might be in. This always gets a little nervy when this kind of stuff happens, when they're right about to finish that and the last guy catches the pack. At the moment, I don't think Frosty's close enough within the 10 car lengths. Or is Seb trying to back off here? Is the safety car coming in? No, it's staying out. Really hope Seb hasn't messed this one up. As into the pits goes the AI. Usually the leader has 30 seconds to catch the safety car if it's too far behind. So I think Seb was getting ready for a restart there when it didn't happen, so we'll have one more lap. All good, nothing bad happened, so that's fine. Now, who would you say is in the best position, Nick?
Well, I mean, Eggy on the freshest tyre, well, not the freshest tyres, but he's definitely up there on those medium tyres. 6 laps compared to the 10 of Seb and Joshua and Sin Icon. So, let's see. I think, honestly, off the restart, he'll be able to get a good jump, and hopefully we can see him fighting for the lead.
Indeed, right. So, it should be in this lap. Callum, his AI pitted for softs for some reason with 15 laps to go. I wouldn't go AI during a Baku race. Chasmeister up into the points then. So 2 more DNFs like usually around a street circuit in Tier 2. If you finish the race, you're going to get points. So Logan is 9th with the newest tyres on the mediums. Safety car's going to help that life even more. Same with the top 3, to be fair. I mean, we've only had about 3 or 4 racing laps. So they could still be in great condition. And if those who have pitted really are taking their tyres to the end, they're going to be very worn. So I wouldn't discount the top 3 strategy at the moment. Right, safety car should be coming in this lap. There we go. Seb will lead them away. Josh Hewitt, Sin Icon, who started down in 11th or 10th? 10th. Biggest loser at the moment, Logan, as he has pitted twice. But we know he has the pace. He got pole position by 4/10. Chasmeister still with a drive-through. And 6 seconds for Vortex. Don't know where he's got that. Right then, here we go then. Safety car is into the pit lane. Seb is free to go when he wants. And now he goes full throttle, and we are away, and they're going to see all 12 cars fly by here, starting with the Alpha Tauris as Josh is on the back, as Chasmeister already trying to battle Warren here. He's going to have to give the place back before any illegal overtakes happen. Chasmeister's disqualified. He's got the same thing that Josh Hewitt had, I think. The 3 racing laps under restarts has disqualified him, which is very unfortunate. There's not really anything you can do. The Spearman Optic losing it, and same with Logan. The McLaren spinning around, Warren 2. I don't know if there's been another incident there. The 2 Alpha Tauris then into turn 3 from Sin Icon, from Eggy. Big gap to Cow, who's ahead of his Optic. And the teammates collide with Aston Martin and Frosty Life sending it on Optic. A little bit of contact there. No front wing for Vortex. And the AI of Callum trying to avoid that. And Logan making his way back through. So Logan goes back down the inside. He's back up into 8th. Something's happened there on the chaotic restart of lap 12. Look to lead up. Logan already 7.6 seconds off the lead. And yeah, Frosty sending it on his teammate. Slight contact there. They got McLaren ahead of them and a McLaren gaining on them from behind. Luckily, no one's crashed in the castle section yet, which is at least a positive. Eggy on the back of Sin Icon then. On the mediums compared to those hards who have to wait until the straight. No DRS for 3 laps. As yeah, 1 second between Seb and Josh. Just seems like Seb's had the pace over his teammate this time. Probably for the first time this season. It seems like Josh has always... I can't say that. It seems like Josh has always just been ahead of Seb. As they fly by there, Eggy and Sin Icon. Eggy in the slipstream to go into P3 then. The wheel-to-wheel, the Mercedes and the Alfa Romeo. As they fly by to start lap 13. There's a yellow and Warren's out. And that is only a VSC, luckily. As they're into the pits, Frosty.
The hazard is gone.
And then there were 10, and hopefully these will be the 10. Frosty and Vortex both in.
We're only
Seems like they both
halfway
have
through.
Callan as well to change his wing, and yeah, we are halfway through. That's 4 then. 3 safety cars, 1 VSC.
Ages.
We can only have 1 more at least.
True.
Right then, Seb. Still leading away. Eggy did get ahead of Sin Icon. Bimmer Optic in 5th. Logan trying to come through the field. And yeah, it's that same corner. Drivers, so Warren's done the same thing Callum did. Chasmeister got disqualified. Bluey and Cargos Blonde got in a crash. Frosty drive through for speeding under safety car, and I think Vortex too. What is it about? Can Tier 2 drivers not keep to the delta? Is there? There's surely not a glitch. So interesting. Right, VSC has ended then into the castle section then for the Alpha Tauris. Their focus has to be sharp and on point. Otherwise, you could just find yourself in the wall at any moment. So Eggy within a second of Josh, who's outside of a second of his teammate. Sin Icon's dropped way off the top 3. Optic 2.6 behind. He's under pressure from Logan, who could still find his way back into this race. Callum still not in the car. His fellow Callum, 13 seconds behind. Shout out to Vajar. Anyway, to start lap 14 in the second half of the race, Josh needs to get back within a second, as the DRS will be activated soon. Eggy on the back of Josh, who's into the pit lane. So Josh is the first of the AlphaTauris to react. He will pit for the hards and go to the end. Interesting. Oh. Right, there we go. Right, Josh pits onto the hards then. Rejoins in P7. There's Cal entering turn 1. So new tyres for Josh as Eggy hunts down Seb. He's been leading all 14 laps of this race, and it seems like he will be the next to pit. Josh 18 seconds behind his teammate, and at least it's a little less chaotic now. They're all spread out, so if anything's going to happen, it's going to be on their own accord. Vortex's AI pitted. Check what happened with Scott. Don't know. Right, Seb 1.3 ahead of Eggy, gained some time there in the middle. Seems like that's where he strives at the moment. Logan putting Sin Icon under pressure with still 94% battery. Sin Icon 2 is saving his. He's going to be pitting onto mediums. He's going to be very quick towards the end as soon as he lightens up towards the track. Bit of curb as Eggy getting within a second now. Seb, let's see if he pits at the end of this straight. The gap was 18 seconds. Now it's 17.2. Has Josh Hewitt undercut his teammate? We're going to find out, because it's around about what he's gained as the gap it was. Eggy on the back of Seb. He's going to take the lead, but Seb is going to come into the pits anyway. So Eggy will lead the first non-Seb leading lap. And Seb into the pits then, making sure not to speed. This is going to be very close between the two AlphaTauris. Sin Icon is being overtaken by Logan, who's up into P2. Optic into 4th. Here comes Seb. There is Josh across the line. Seb changes to the hard compound tyres. It's the final garage AlphaTauri, so that means the exit is right there. Josh is ahead of his teammate, and there is Cal too. So can Cal get ahead of Seb? He's going to be behind him. So Josh has undercut his teammate by a whopping 3 seconds with the 1 second deficit Seb had. And now it's game on at AlphaTauri with Josh Hewitt. 1 lap difference, but a big difference it made. So now if they are really gaining that much time, and yeah, Josh is flying. Fastest lap for Cal as well, so he's right on them as well, but on the mediums. So the undercut is mighty around here. 4 second gap for Eggy then, yet to win a race. Finishing third and second. Championship leader in the Alfa Romeo. Logan in P2, it's been a good comeback. Look at the crowd cheering on him. Was down in P10 after pitting. Damaged his wing, had to change it. Running second and gaining 7/10 since I said the 4 second gap. So Logan's going to be reeling Eggy in on 4 lap fresher mediums. Sin Icon still on those hards under pressure from Optic. These two friends, of course. These two teammates were, of course, before Optic left, rejoined in the Aston Martin. So this will be interesting. Josh has caught the AI as Seb is gaining on Josh. He's taken half a second out of him on those new hards. Helicopter cam then. Here comes Optic to get ahead of Sin Icon. Is he coming into the pits? He's staying out. So Optic is ahead of his friend. Onto the podium goes Optic, who's only scored once in his Tier 2 career. It was P9 as he goes off. As soon as I say that, he broke too late. Goes off, and that allows Sin Icon back ahead. And Cal right on the back of Seb. Seb towing him along. Chasmeister is... What? He was already disqualified, but okay. So Logan bringing the gap down to 2.8 now. Gaining about 6/10 a lap. As we have 10 to go. This is getting exciting here. So but Optic has to do that all over again. And Seb will just go ahead of the AI car. Same with Cal. So Seb closing the gap, only 1.1 then between Josh Hewitt and Seb, who's been leading this whole race, to have his teammate undercut him. Let's see if he can fight him back, but at the moment they need to work as a team to gain on the guys in front. The gap is 12.7 seconds with 10 to go, and I'm sure they can catch that. Tin Icon yet to pit, remember, and Optic and Eggy especially is going to be on very dying tyres. Little slide there for the Alfa Romeo. And if you were Eggy, Nick, could you get those mediums 21 laps, or would you pit again?
Nah, I think I'd definitely pit again. So what did I say? 4 to 5%. So they're in the region. They're probably in the region about 50% at the moment, 40 to 50%. So no, in all honesty, I think it's too much. The tyres, like I said, the rear tyres are going to be cooking themselves up. So he's probably looking at potentially another set of mediums if he can. Yeah, he's only done soft medium. So he's either looking for another set of softs, but to be honest, that's only going to be the last maybe 3 or 4 laps, to be honest, before they hit the brick wall. So yeah, he'll probably have to pit again for another set of mediums.
Right, Josh, 16%, Seb, barely anything, and Cal, 24% is Optic. What's happened to Optic? He's gone straight on, and he's caused a safety car. I was going to say, where is he? His Vortex is out. Optic, for the second time in this race, loses his front wing and causes a safety car, which has just saved the top 3 and blown any sort of discussion you just had, Nick, about Eggy's tyres out the window. Optic must have maybe went off. It's a very weird place to lose your front wing. So he must have slid, maybe. Whatever the case, he's brought out the 5th and final safety car. And they can all pit onto mediums pretty much, or even softs. Vortex, don't know what happened to him. Then there were 9, same as last week's result. This allows Frosty to gain back. His teammate has just given him a lifeline. Actually, there'll be 8 if Callum gets disqualified. And I'm sure this will really upset AlphaTauri. And once again, it seems like things looking up for Eggy, championship leader. And Logan, I'm pretty sure Logan may have been in the best position because his mediums didn't look too bad, and he could have gone to the end. As a Optic has to wait. So Eggy, it's a no-brainer. He'll pit, but it'll be interesting to see what he pits onto. Logan in. This will allow Sin Icon, who's not pitted yet, to make his one and only stop. So here comes Eggy then into the pit lane. He will put on the soft compound tyres. Seems like he saved one. Same with Logan. So is it really that early? Yep, they're all putting softs on then. Both AlphaTauri's pit, so they are going to be kicking themselves. Josh puts the softs on. As soon as Josh leaves, Seb is in. Great double stack from the AlphaTauris once again. Softs on. Do they lose anything? Just about. No. They both stay ahead of Cal. It's a great work from them. Callum on the mediums, but still not back in the car. Frosty staying out. An Optic on the softs. Right then, this is going to be a bit of a dash. But this is the last safety car. There'll be no more after this. So Tier 2 drivers have to keep that in mind. We've lost Chazmeister because the same thing happened with Josh Hewitt in Saudi. He got drive-through, and then I think the 3 safety car restarts counted as 3 racing laps, so he got disqualified. We lost Callum, who caused the first safety car. We lost Bluey and Kairos Blonde, they caused the 3rd. We lost Warren, he caused the 4th, but that was a VS seat. And we've lost Vortex for some reason. And then the 2nd safety car was, and the 4th, well, and the 5th, should I say, were caused by BMRL Optic. So now it's going to just be a straight fight. 2 AlphaTauris, the 2 McLarens, but it's not the 2 Alfa Romeos, it's 1 Alfa Romeo of Eggy, his teammate is out, and the Mercedes of Sin Icon. Seems like Seb was backing off the pace a little under Delta to try and make that double stack happen ahead of Cal. So I don't know if that will be looked at. And who do you think, Nick, of the top probably 6 has the best race pace at the moment?
Well, I think obviously Seb from P2 on the grid, and he pulled a massive gap. But I mean, I go on about Eggy all the time, but he is a fantastic driver. As you said, consistency is there. He doesn't have a win so far, but there's 3 rounds. We're 3 rounds into the season. What is he? He's had a third, and a second.
Nick, the
Oh,
commentator's curse.
Get that man back in right now.
We invited him. What are the odds?
No. You should have
Right
never
then.
asked me the question.
Logan Smile has just got a bit. He actually needs to get back in the car, otherwise this restart's going to be messy.
I'm inviting him.
Because if it isn't the AI thing to do to pick up for softs, for, actually no, Chaz might. Oh, there we go. Hopefully he'll get back in. I mean, the game put Chazmeister on softs with 15 laps to go, so
All right.
you never know. Right, hopefully he's back in the car soon.
I'm praying.
Right then, it's all down to AlphaTauri then to regain what they lost. They were first and third, second. Now they're fourth and fifth.
Yes.
There we go. He's back in the car.
Come on, eggs.
Eggy, championship leader, 48 points. Cal in 6 on 41 points in second. Remember, he got his first podium of his Tier 2 career here last season with P2. 6 at the moment. Has been caught in a few things this evening. He may benefit from if anything happens in front. Sin Icon, I think he's had 1 podium this season in Jeddah when he finished second to Marine. Safety car will be in this lap. Seb has led them all, but this time it's Eggy who will control the pace. And we'll have 7 laps of running from lap 20 all the way to the final lap. And it is Baku. There could be a last second overtake on the straight if they've saved up enough battery. The 2 Aston Martins at the back, the 2 AlphaTauris in the middle, the 2 McLarens spaced out, and then we have a Haas who's not even here, Mercedes, and an Alfa Romeo. I think Optic's getting impatient here.
Yeah,
Right
Eggy has got
Eggy's had a brilliant restart as he crosses the line to start lap 20. Logan is going to come under pressure from Sin Icon, who's going into turn 1. Is there any sort of send? Not at the moment. Then the 2 AlphaTauris follow. Then Cal, Optic ahead of Callum, but he's got an illegal overtake. He's trying to get the place back. Optic trying to learn here.
Oh, the 2 Aston Martins.
Yep. As Frosty benefits from both of them, Optic really needs to know he can't overtake before the line. So into turn 3 then. Seems like they're all spaced out. No sort of moves happening. As Cal watching the 2 AlphaTauris in front. The top 6 are away then. Seems like the Astons will have to pick up the points, with Cal getting disqualified pretty much indefinitely. Aston Martin will pick up best of the rest, 7th and 8th, because there's no penalties for them to gain on this time. Yeah, there we go. Right then, Eggy, 3/10 ahead of Logan. Logan, who got 2 great wins last season, looking for his first to get himself back into this title fight. Sin Icon, not exactly on the same pace as them at the moment. He's going to come under pressure from Josh, who's right behind him into the castle. Seb all over the back of his teammate as Cal is along for the ride watching this, and he could gain a position or 2. It's going to be very interesting as Sin Icon under pressure from Josh Hewitt through the twisty left-hand sections. So they get their braking right into one of the most difficult corners on the track, and they've all made it through great. So if it is a DRS train to beat, Eggy's going to come under massive pressure in a couple laps time. Little wide there from Logan, as he's now going to blast his battery to stick with the Alfa Romeo as they fly into the chicane. They're going to go flying past here on this great camera angle. All 6 of them emerging now onto the straight. Here comes Logan then. to be in the slipstream of Eggy as we finish lap 20. Who's going to lead it? As Logan pulls to the inside, the McLaren versus the Alfa Romeo. They cross the line. It's going to be Logan to lead lap 21, set the fastest lap, and down the inside goes Josh Hewitt into P3. Sin Icon versus Josh Hewitt, and Josh Hewitt just emerges ahead. They're still wheel to wheel. Seb watching this unfold. He's under pressure from Cal. Down into turn 2. They're still wheel to wheel, and amazingly Sin Icon has emerged still ahead of Josh Hewitt, and now his teammate is getting in on the act, but he can't quite get ahead. Sin Icon goes defensive to the inside. Josh tries around the outside. Seb watching this still unfold. Sin goes deep, but still stays ahead. Josh all over the back of him as it allows the top 2 to still fight ahead. And this is great racing between the top 6. As here, coming back for more is Eggy, but at the moment Logan now leads them.
Eggy
into the
really
second split.
Shut your mouth. Eggy really hounding the back of Logan here. He is smelling the gearbox oil. Eggy is going for the win, and Josh Hewitt trying to find a way past Sin Icon. Obviously, it's Baku. It's very hard. There was a couple moments there, and lovely. There was a little bit of wheel banging as well coming up to turn 2, which I thought was some brilliant racing. You know, as long as it's not dirty, you get away with it. But Seb, he's chomping at the bit, I think, at the moment to try and get Josh to get past Sin Icon.
He's running out of laps, but interestingly, Frosty Life has caught this train too. And if they keep battling as going, Optic maybe as well. So every single driver left in this Grand Prix still has a chance at some good points here. And Logan has nearly gapped Eggy by a second. Logan has some brilliant race pace as Eggy is a second ahead of Sin Icon, is going to fall under pressure from the two Alpha Tauris. But they've both blasted all their battery. Even Cal's in a better position at the moment. So Josh using everything he has here to go round the outside of Sin Icon. Seb watching this unfold. Can Josh do it? Into turn 1. He's going to hang it round the outside. Then Sin Icon will force him deep, nearly into the wall. And that allows Seb to optimise and get ahead of his teammate because Josh has been forced to his limits. And that allows his teammate to now have a go at him. But yes, Sin Icon getting his elbows out to hold on to this podium. And it looks like Logan at the moment with 5 laps to go is in the best position here. But Eggy still keeping them within a second. But Logan's ERS management is great. Pretty much 4 times the amount. And now we're going to see Seb try and get back through the field. He's ahead of his teammate. That's the big step. Who's under pressure from Cal, who just stays ahead of Frosty there. Right, into the middle sector. Don't want to jinx it, but yeah, they've all behaved brilliantly at the castle section, so if they can continue that for 5 more rotations, that would be great. Logan then, 1.4 ahead. It just seems like he's got the great pace around Baku. It always seems like whenever Logan says, "Oh, I don't know if I'll race this one. I don't know if I won't feel great at this one." He always excels, and at the moment he is winning the Grand Prix.
No.
Eggy in second, Sin Icon in third. But yeah, Eggy, what can he do? As Seb flashing behind Sin Icon. 40% versus 10%. Massive train behind. So yeah, Logan gapping the Alfa Romeo, who's going to come under pressure from Sin Icon, who will at least have the DRS of the Alfa Romeo. And Eggy could be a sitting duck here. Seb trying to use everything.
Yeah, literally, as I was going to say, nothing left. While Sin Icon and Eggy on similar battery levels. What is Josh on? Josh is on nothing as well, so I wonder if the Alpha Tauris are going to make a little bit of a swap here. They do. 3 laps or 4 laps remaining, should I say. 23, 24, 25, 26. Yeah, I am, right, as per usual. But yeah, Eggy drops down into third. Maybe Sin Icon can draw and pull the 3 cars behind him towards the front. But we shall see.
If any of second onwards want the win, they have to work together here, really, because Logan has gone 3-second gap due to all the fighting. But it's been clean, it's been great, and at the moment, Logovic 09 looking for his first win of Tier 2, Season 8. First time, back-to-back McLaren winners. We had Cal last week, we have Logan this week at the moment. And obviously, season dominated by McLaren last time by 1 driver. It would be nice to see both of them getting a victory in the first 4 races. McLaren on the up at the moment. Mercedes for Sin Icon looking good with second. Eggy, championship leader still. His closest rival Cal still down in 6th with 40% battery. Maybe he could get some at the end. It's going to be very close considering the AlphaTauris have burnt all their battery. But yeah, massive train behind Sin Icon, who has actually closed the gap to Logan by about half a second on this lap. But yeah, he's going to still come under massive pressure with a bit of a slide there, and he is going to be a bit of a sitting duck here. Eggy charging up his battery to take back second. And the two Alpha Tauris maybe under pressure from Cal if he can blast it enough as Frosty just about avoids the wall then. 3 laps to go then as Logan crosses the line. Sin Icon under pressure from Eggy, who goes to the inside to retake P2. What about Josh Hewitt then as Cal gets ahead of Seb? Josh Hewitt goes to the inside. Sin Icon defends. Josh has to go back to the outside. Cal is ahead of Seb. It was looking so good for him, but it seems like when he leads in the first half, the second half is what unravels and vice versa. And at the moment, Eggy back him in a second. And Sin Icon under pressure from Josh Hewitt there. So Cal patiently waiting one by one. He's got one of them. You can see first in the World Championship, about a second ahead of him. And he knows his teammate is going to be right there in the battle that soon. And anything could happen yet. Really hope they all make it to the line in this kind of order. Josh Hewitt breathing down Sin Icon's neck. Cal under pressure from Seb. Frosty Life still there to make any sort of move. He does like a late send, as Optic's just been watching this whole thing from 3 seconds back the whole time. But it's the same gap, Optic and Logan, to this massive 6-car train. Into the castle section. Oh, every time on board or off board with Frosty, it looks like he's just going to plant it in the wall. Seb right on the back of Cal. And the Alpha Tauris still not giving up, still trying to make some moves. And yeah, Eggy gaining on Logan. It seems like the second sector is where Logan loses his time. It seems like the first and last is where he gains it. So it seems like he has good straight line speed. Does the McLaren. As Eggy has nearly gapped a second to Sin Icon, who's gapped ahead of Josh Hewitt, who's under pressure from Cal and Seb. But they're a bit more spaced out this lap. No one's really close for an overtake. Frosty, 67%. He can blast it all. Seb's right there with no battery. Here we go then. Frosty to the outside. DRS open and Seb falls down to 7th now.
Deary me. From the highs of lap 1 and the laps to follow after that to 7th place. He's just burnt that battery way too early. As we're on the penultimate lap, is he going to fall down even further? Oh, his Frosty Life goes into the wall there.
2.5 seconds. Yeah, Frosty outside of a second, so Seb could still capitalise here and get back ahead of the Aston. Seems like he's a bit too far behind for any sort of send. But he might get him ahead as, yeah, he messes up there. Seb trying to go around the outside. Frosty stays ahead. And yeah, they're all, once again, all bunched up for P2. We could see a battle over the line here at this rate. Eggy 30%, Sin 30%, Josh half of that, and Cal 30%. So yeah, Josh is the odd one out under pressure at the moment, but he's the one pressurising the most. Gap staying constant between Logan and Eggy. They're all on the same compound tyre. Frosty Life 1 lap younger, and if the softs do fall off, you never know with Frosty. He got a podium last time.
I think Seb just hit the castle.
Ooh.
He's lost 8/10 of a second. I don't think so. I think it was on the rear quarter of the car. Let's just check the front wing. It seems to be alright. But yeah, I think he just clipped the rear tyre.
Eggy did have a 1 second gap, then it's just gone right down to 4/10. He must have messed up because Sin Icon is right on the back of Eggy. Little loss of the rear himself. We're heading on to the final lap of the Grand Prix. Logan, he loves a good comeback drive, and at the moment he's picked the right strategy so far. He's going to cross the line to complete the penultimate rotation to start the final lap of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. And here comes Sin Icon then, who's actually a bit too far behind. They're all saving their battery for one last dash. On the final lap then, it's Eggy versus Sin versus Josh versus Cal. Frosty's dropped a little bit behind, and Seb unfortunately just doesn't have the race pace on those softs. So it's a 4-car battle for second. It's a 4-car battle for the final 2 podium places. And who tries anything into turn 3? Sin Icon. He's in prime position here to try and get Eggy on the straight, but he's in the slip. Eggy goes defensive. Sin Icon backs off. Josh to the inside. Cal hits Josh down the inside. Josh turns in. Cal loses time because of it. And eventually something was going to happen. Frosty to the inside. Cal drops down because of it. And Frosty into 5th now. Cal's going to fight him. As it seems like late on the brakes, Josh moving to the right caused Cal to unfortunately once again be the unlucky victim. So it seems like he's out of the equation battling with Frosty. So it's a 3-car battle then for second. As we head through the castle for one final time. Josh right on the back of Sin Icon. 14%, Sin Icon 40, Eggy 30. It may still stay how it is with the ERS saved up. But you never know what could happen in EXFL Tier 2. We lost Chazmeister due to a disqualification. We lost Callum because of a crash. We lost Cargo's Bong and Bluey because of a crash. Same corner. Warren, same corner. Vortex, don't know what happened to him. Callum will get disqualified. And with 1 sector to go, Logovic 09 is out in front. 3.2 second gap. The fight for second is hotting up though.
Surely.
And it's going to go right to the wire.
Surely Eggy does not have this. He tried a little bit of trickery going into turn 15. Oh, and he gets perilously close to the wall there.
Here we go then, Logan to cross the line for the first time in EXFL Tier 2 Season 8. Logovic is a Grand Prix winner. He wins the Baku Grand Prix across the line, wheel to wheel. Sin Icon has got Eggy on the line. Sin Icon by 63,000. Eggy, he was caught out there, and Sin Icon right on the line gets P2. What a photo finish. Eggy once again keeps up his 100% record of podiums this season. Third, second, third. He still maintains the championship lead, but he's just been knocked off 3 points by Sin Icon, who will be very happy with P2 again. Unfortunately, no AlphaTauri is on the podium. 4th and 7th is going to sting for them after leading out in front for so long. But Logovic, unsure if he was going to race today, and usually we're seeing a pattern here. If he's unsure how much he's going to dominate, because that brings him right back into the fight. Whew, what a crazy race. And I think we can interview all three of them because they're all Xbox. Right then, there you have it. Logan also picks up the fastest lap point, so a full 26 points. Pole to win. Sin Icon 10th to 2nd. Frosty 15th to 5th as well. Brilliant. Not actually that long of a race director. Obviously, it's hard to get penalties around here. It's just a bunch of DNFs. Right, Logan, Sin, Eggy. I'll wait for the top three to join for interviews. Alright, here we go. We have P3 joining the party at the moment. Still waiting on Sin and Logan.
On! See you in a bit. See you in a bit, Josh. Oh.
Right, don't know if Sin's just turned his Xbox off or not. Anyway, we have first and third from the race result joining us in the pie. Sven, are you there, mate? Have you included your audio? Logan, have you done the same?
Yeah, I've included my audio, yeah.
Alright. Nick, who should we start off with?
Definitely my man Eggy. Come on.
Alright then. P3, Alfa Romeo, 100% podium record still and maintaining the championship lead is Eggy. P3, how did that race feel for you? Yeah, Yeah, very close. It was right up close to the line, but that consistency is key, and you are at the moment 4 for 4 with podiums. I'm sure that first one will be coming soon, but yeah, it's a brilliant start for your Tier 2 career with Alfa Romeo. 4 podiums in a row. You had the pace to fight with Sin the whole time in that last 7 laps. For P2, as Logan unfortunately just got away because of the battling. But yeah, congratulations, another podium, and I'm sure Miami onwards, you're a very keen title contender for this season. Nick, any questions more for your boy Eggy?
No questions from my man Eggy, but also congratulations, 100% podium record so far in EXFL Tier 2 Season 8, and I hope you can keep it up because you are a top lad, a top driver, and congratulations. It's alright.
Right, moving on to P2. Sin Icon, are you there, mate? Okay. So for those wondering why there's silence, Sin can't include his audio, but still. What a race from you and a last second clinch for P2. Take us through it.
Ah,
Yeah, so you got P5 in round 1, P2 in round 2. You missed last week, and you got P2 today, so you are right in this fight as well, bringing you to, I think, 46 points. I think Eggy's on 63, so you're only pretty much 15 off or something. But anyway, that last second clinch for P2 was brilliant. Well done. Nick, any questions for Sin?
No questions for me as per usual, but just congratulations. You played the strategical advantage well there at the end to get the position at the line. It was very well read of the situation, and congratulations on your P2.
Yeah. Oh. Well, yeah, he's
Oh,
getting a little. And there
boo-hoo!
was one point into turn 3 where like you went defensive, you went back to the inside, he went for it, and then Cal went for it, and then he got caught up a little bit. So I don't know what will happen there. Um, but still, nonetheless, great drive, going long on those hards, and then the safety car came out to help you. So yeah, and good pace overall. Right then, we move on to the winner, Logovic 09, Logan P1 at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. There's a trend here. You don't want to race. You don't feel like you're going to race. You feel like you're bad, and you go and win the race.
I don't know what to say really. I might as well do this all the time. I mean, expecting not to be here was the first thing, and then I got home like half an hour before. Did the half an hour practice. Just took myself in like a 25% race, and did as many laps as I could. And then with the practice, took it into the race, and yeah, put it together quite a special race.
It was a very special race because you also got your first ever pole, and
Mm.
now you have a 100% pole to win conversion rate.
Yeah.
Flawless pace, brilliant driving. Did you damage your front wing under safety car at one point?
So, I don't know what corner, but you know, after the castle section, and then you got that flat out little left, and then you go down the hill towards that left-hander
Yeah.
that's dead sharp. I
Mhm.
absolutely outbroke myself and just went straight into the wall, and was so lucky to still be in the race. I can't lie.
Oh dear. Well, yeah. Luckily, then decided to pit for mediums, and then you had good pace. You were closing on Eggy before the safety car came out, and then it was going to be just a matter of who has the best race pace and coordination with the ERS and DRS. And then, yeah, you just managed to find a sweet spot, get into the lead, get over a second gap, and it was smooth sailing from there. But I'm guessing the pressure was still building in those final laps.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I mean, I generally don't know what to really say about my last couple of laps. I can't lie. I was so conservative. It was just a lot like, just bring the car home. On lap 24, I was like, I just have this feeling, this sick feeling in my stomach. It's like, oh, I might put this in the water castle or something. So I lost so much time on that last lap, but that was just me trying to be so careful.
Indeed, right. From the lows of Australia to the massive highs of Baku, you needed this to really put yourself back into the fight. And yeah, back to back for McLaren with both drivers. They both got a win, they both got a pole. It seems like the most complete team at the moment, even with AlphaTauri's high dominance in races. They just somehow get unlucky towards the end, and McLaren seem to pick up the pieces. But there are other people like Alfa Romeo and Sin Icon who are going to pick up and fight for those pieces too. That has been the Baku Grand Prix. I'm sure Nick doesn't have any questions for you. Anyway, moving on, we have the Miami Grand Prix in 7 days' time for round 5. We're getting more in towards those stages where these rounds matter more and more. Logovic is your race winner, and we will see you in 7 days' time at Miami.